You're Near the Wild with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Welcome to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Mat Becker in a bus.
I'm John Norris with shitty Wi-Fi.
And I'm Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona. You guys are still in Alaska, right?
Heck yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Still in Alaska.
We're
Never leaving.
We're using Skype, so.
I made it back from a weekend of camping. I finally left the city, went out in the woods.
So like
Beautiful time.
Like in a tent or something?
No, it was a lodge. They had a guy had built he's got like 80 acres out by Big Lake. So you're like an hour away, which is perfect for drive time. And it has no running water. So you get to experience what you realize you count on water for. What you don't realize when you stay in those lodges with no water or indoor plumbing is when you're laying in bed upstairs and you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to get up, go down the stairs, go through the living room, go outside, go off the deck, and then go to the bathroom. It's like the reverse. You think when you're home, you're safe. That's what we've been taught when we were kids. I'm home. I'm safe. You're not safe. You're in the worst spot if you're going to throw up.
Well, you just have to get to the rail is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, but you got to do it in a timely fashion.
Yeah. I mean, there's other people laying around. Yeah, you got to navigate that. But
a lot of time, queasy doesn't include a marathon.
So, like, no water mean you had to, like, bring your own, like, jugs of water?
Yeah, jugs, bottles.
Or you found out when you got there that there's no water and no one told you?
By the third day, we're drinking our own urine. Yeah, it was survival of the fittest on this one.
Well, other than that, it was all right?
Oh, yeah, no, it was a blast. The weather was beautiful, and then it rained one day, and then it was beautiful, and we packed up to leave. That's always the best. When you're leaving camping, and it's beautiful out, and you're like, we should really stay another day. And you're like, don't get greedy.
There's still no water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures of the Bird Creek Salmon Derby yesterday. You guys are having fantastic weather.
Yeah. No, that's... it's been it's one of those summers where people are going to move to Alaska over this. They're coming up here in droves going, I could do this. Hell yeah. I'm from Billy.
Yeah, time to
it's been crazy. It was, I think it was Friday. It's Friday. It was like pouring rain, like the hardest I've seen it rain here in a long time. And then the rest of the weekend, beautiful.
I've always felt that if you really wanted to test someone's mettle, was they had to come up in the winter. Try and do the same things you do in the summer and the winter, or at least be outside or do something. Just figure out how fucking cold it is, and it's got to be a stretch. Anyone can suffer for 3 days, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's not that bad. People do it all year round.
Either John's body's been taken over by a robot, or it's cutting out again.
Yeah.
You there, John? Yeah, he's gone.
I'm voting robot.
No.
Oh, there you are. It held on.
Hello? Should I just drive over to Becker's house?
I don't know.
All right. I'll see you at the bus.
All right.
Oh. Now I feel better.
Oh, I hear Becker.
Goddamn brilliant.
All right, and you got the plane in the background on cue.
All right. That's production value. We rented that plane.
You can't make that with coconuts.
Well, speaking of production value, let's just start off with this. Sharknado 2, gentlemen, last night.
Did you watch it? I haven't seen the first one. You
don't want me to spoil it?
No.
Okay.
I have to go back and spend some time with the series.
Well,
do you feel it was worth it? Was it?
Well, I actually recorded it last night. I was busy with the Stanhope podcast last night, but I recorded Sharknado 2 so I can watch it tonight. Anything where like New Yorkers are affected by adverse weather or sharks flying through the air, I'm down.
Sure.
Yeah, that's Sharknado 2 takes place in New York.
Sure. I mean, I have not seen the movies, but I think I like them.
Well, let me I'll tease it this way. If you have a chance to watch a movie with Downtown Julie Brown, Matt Lauer, and Judd Hirsch from Taxi, why would you not record that? Why would you not plan this family time to watch that?
But I like that they just make these these are big high concept movies that they're making for like $10,000.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel,
like slave labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get the credit. You're like, I played one of the sharks.
True.
Yeah, I've been there.
There's a ton of celebrity deaths. I mean, basically anyone you see, if you go to IMDb and you look at who's in it, you know that anyone who's in it is being ripped apart by a shark flying through a tornado.
Sure.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to the cheesiness.
No, I mean, that's what they're selling. And the part is it used to be they made these movies and they were like, and people, I think they put their heart in it. And I think they're going, okay, what can we do to make it worse? And they're doing a good job.
Well, I read, there's a really great article out there about The Orphanage, which is this movie studio that just rips off like the big Hollywood blockbusters. So like when Transformers comes out, they have a movie called like Shape-Shifting Robots, and they'll have like Sherlock Holmes versus dinosaurs and stuff. And the article is they talk to like the directors and the screenwriters and stuff, and they talk about how like we copy these blockbusters for less than $100,000, and we make the entire movie in less than 2 weeks. Kind of
the Trauma / Ed Wood school of movie making.
Exactly.
That's great, though, that, you're willing to go. I think there's a market for the lesser movie.
Well, it was called the 1950s.
If they use the same font on, like, the DVD case, a lot of people buy it not knowing what they're buying.
Yeah, like the drippy letters for, like, a vampire movie.
They'll be like, that guy kind of looks like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, if you go into, Turner Classic Movies has a lot of the older B, C movies that run late at night. And if you check those out, you'll see that it looks like they filmed this maybe at a schoolyard or maybe a tract of land that the oil companies were using in Southern California back in the 50s. And they filmed it on a weekend and everyone brought their own clothes. I mean, that's what they look like. And then Ed Wood, classically with Plan 9, had basically just used stock footage and built a story around whatever stock footage and props that he could get on loan or borrowed from someone at a movie studio.
Yeah, and Bela Lugosi high on morphine.
Yeah,
that's just good stuff. Yeah. Pull the rope.
I've never understood why people haven't gone back and taken like series like, say, Cheers or any of those which had enough of body work and just spliced it in and made a different episode, a non-existent episode.
That reminds me. I need to get on the Jeff Tate podcast.
Yes.
That's like me and Matt Collins. That's our new goal is to get Jeff Tate to let us on his Cheers podcast.
Oh, yeah? But I don't know if he's able to do it on the phone. You might have to go to him. Or you know what? You could just, the next time he comes up to Anchorage, you guys could just do an episode of his on the bus.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll do, Near the Wild / what's the name of his podcast?
His podcast is Jeff Tate, Geoff Tate, Tate. And that is also the name of the lead singer of Queensryche. So you can't just go ahead and Google it. It's Jeff Tate Comedian, and his podcast, it's available on iTunes. It's called Afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
And it's Cheers-centric, for sure.
No, that's great.
But back on topic.
All right.
There is actually, I just watched a whole bunch of, somebody is like going through sitcoms and cutting out all the jokes. So it's just like 3 minutes of story, and they're actually pretty interesting. So you can watch like an episode. There's the Junior Mints episode of Seinfeld where they just cut out all the jokes, and it's just about Jerry trying to remember a girl's name and them dropping candy into a body.
Roll credits.
Yep.
So it's like basically the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, if you don't have time for all the fun stuff you watch TV for, just watch these.
No crazy Kramer entrances.
Nope.
Gone.
Get rid of that shit. We don't need it.
Well, just take out the laugh track part where people aren't saying anything or doing anything on one of those old shows.
Yeah.
So you could do that with King of Queens already.
Yeah. It would just be the opening montage, and then it would roll credits. Where do we see that, John?
I saw it on the AV Club. Had an article about it. So I think if you just look up AV Club, I don't know. I don't know. Just Google it.
Yeah.
But
you did see it, so it's not a rumor.
I mean, it's real. This is the thing I saw off my eyes. So I think if you just Google sitcom no jokes.
Okay. I'll do that, and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes. That's it. That's what I'm promoting this week.
Thank you, John.
Big Mama's house.
Yeah.
Well, it is interesting to see a lot of indie like flicks getting made and little projects and stuff like that. But even now, there's so much money tied up into them. When you look back on what they used to do for fucking nothing, it's pretty amazing. I mean, John, you make movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you do the 24-hour music or movie festival this year?
The 48-hour film
48 hour. That's what
I do, and it's coming up at the end of September, so in a couple of months.
So that's basically like explain the rules on that one. I went to it 2 years ago.
So teams enter. We usually get around 25 teams. I think I cap it at 25 teams now, and the 25 teams have basically 2 days to go out and write, shoot, and edit a movie. I give them some prompts that have to be included to kind of verify that it was actually made that weekend. Like
a bottle of name brand dishwashing soap has to appear in the scene. Yeah, like I usually choose like a prop and maybe a line that somebody has to say, and I try to get creative with it and give everybody themes. Like one year I wrote down like a bunch of like movie genres and stuff and had people pick them out of a hat. Ooh. That's tough. So I try to make it difficult for them.
I was gonna say, because I would do, if you gave me a prop and a line to say, I'd just cut to a little clip in the center and a completely different. Yeah. Anyway.
So I try to make it difficult, but still, like, you know, I don't want to tell people what kind of movies to make. And then we have a big screening, and we have some judges that watch everything, and the winning film, the filmmakers take home some cash. Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we've been doing that. This will be our 5th year this year. So,
and what's the date on this one?
The teams are going to make the movies the last weekend of September, and then we're going to screen all the movies at the Beartooth Theater on October 4th.
Oh, cool.
All right.
What day is the 4th?
It's a Saturday.
I'll put that in the show notes. Do you guys have a website or something people can go look at the past years?
We have a Facebook page, and I'm building a website right now.
All right.
So, but this is the official announcement. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you always come up with the best thing. Your drive-in was a brilliant idea.
The drive-in worked well. We got to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like showing movies. I like tricking people into watching movies with me, so it works out pretty well.
Yeah, you're going to do one in the winter, right?
Yeah. We're going to definitely do a winter solstice drive-in movie.
That's a perfect idea.
Apparently, I've been told that projecting on snow is not as ideal as it sounds.
No, you need a really reflective, flat surface.
Yeah, apparently snow kind of reflects in weird ways.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless you want to get up there with an iron, put a nice sheen on it.
I'll
but I mean, you could take say if you were going to put it in a parking lot. You could get someone to donate some plow time, push all the snow up and just accumulate it in one end of the parking lot, and then you could tack down your screen on that bank of snow, right?
Yeah, definitely.
At least you'd get a flat surface.
The biggest fly in the world is in the bus right now. Oh, I see it over there. It's behind the kite.
Yeah, you could saddle that thing.
Oh man. We have a new guest on the podcast.
It's a Clydesdale.
So, John, you kind of keep apprised of the things happening in Alaska media.
Yeah.
I guess your world got kind of rocked 2 days ago when you found out there was going to be some new competition out on the online news scene in Alaska.
Is there? Wait, what's happening?
I thought your ear was firmly to the ground and stuff like this.
Yeah.
No.
Trains are coming.
I'm not paying attention.
Trains are coming.
I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. It was announced Sarah Palin online news channel, an alternative to the politically correct filter of mainstream media for $9.95 a month.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real thing. I don't know. I don't.
Oh, that's not a threat to any kind of news?
I don't think so. I mean, I think people who like Sarah Palin are gonna pay for that, but I don't know if that even like. Yeah, I didn't even register that as like a news competitor. I guess
it came off to me as a way to launder money she has somehow. She's gonna have 9 million subscriptions, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I don't know, pay taxes on this."
Oh my God! I did hear a BBC News Hour report where it was at the end, so obviously it was kind of the fluff piece, and
Soft news.
he was openly mocking the whole idea of her somehow being a source of like real news. And it was funny because he would say something, but it would be so tongue in cheek, and like he would start, it is as ridiculous to the world as it is to, I think, humans.
Yeah,
it's
strange. Is she like hiring reporters and stuff?
I don't know how she's compiling this. I know that she on the main page, she's got a happy anniversary to her parents. I think her mom is submitting recipes. It's really seeming like a very homespun.
I guess that's pretty great when you could just start a blog and like get people to subscribe to it for cash. That's pretty good.
At $9.95, or you can save a little money and spend $99 for a year in advance. And
that's a better deal.
Oh, sure, yeah. Commit for the year. She's got a debt calculator that's constantly ticking up, and
is that my debt or hers?
Yeah, for her show or
no, for the nation, and she also has a countdown clock for Obama leaving office.
Oh. If it wasn't for her, he never would have got in.
Yeah, really.
How many days did you allow this to happen?
Yeah, you can see who she's appealing to, right?
Sure. I mean,
this is something that I think the Tea Party people would totally be down with.
I'm gonna go bury all of my ammo in the field somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stock up my bomb shelter, and then I'm gonna subscribe to Sarah Palin Daily.
I think she's starting the Bullet of the Month Club too.
Is that your doomsdayer prep list, John?
That's it. That's what I think I got to get done before Jesus comes.
Mm-hmm. With God as my witness, I thought this was canned food. I had no idea it was dog food. We're gonna spend 30 years underground with dog food. Sorry.
You know what? I wish her the best. Good for Sarah.
No, she's breaking new ground. I'll give her that. She's gonna do the weather topless. That's what I heard.
Well, I mean, Rush Limbaugh had his 24-hour news segment or show that was online, and then I think Glenn Beck has something now too. I mean, I've never seen any of these things. I've just read about them. Enough already. Come on.
I know.
Well, speaking of news, the Alaska, the ADN, now the Alaska Dispatch News, it just seems weird. It's our local newspaper has been taken over by the Dispatch, and now it's the Alaska Dispatch News. And today, when I left my house, there was a physical copy of the paper sitting on my doorstep, which is strange because I've never subscribed to the paper. So apparently they're just giving them away now. To I don't really know what the end game is here.
Well, how's anyone going to know that it's now the Dispatch unless they give away free papers?
This is true. But it's I don't know if that's a good business plan to just give them away like that.
They've been giving away newspapers for years, and my mom runs into this every 4 to 6 months in Orange County. She gets the LA Times in California, and she just was like, I can't do this anymore. I want the Sunday paper. That's it. And then she calls to cancel, and then they go, we're going to give it to you for free then, for weekly, for another month if you just don't cancel.
I think they feel like if they can just remind people what it's like to have a stack of unread newspapers on a kitchen counter, they're not going to lose them.
And it's really, we've gone through that wonderful time when you can go on vacation and it clearly look like you're gone for a week with a pile of newspapers in front of your house. But they've now circumvented that by giving you a free break-in.
I think actually, like house robbers in the newspaper industry are in cahoots. Mm-hmm. You just give them away for free, and we'll give you a cut of whatever their Blu-ray player.
Remember, use our classifieds if you got it from our paper.
That was our that was our upsell when I used to deliver papers was to porch the paper. If you took it up to the porch, then when you went to go collect that money at the end of the month, which I always thought was weird too, that they were sending me to go collect the money for the paper, but. Yeah. You would get hopefully a tip, but it certainly wasn't mandatory.
How old were you?
Well, this was last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it firsthand when I was right out of college. I had a brief period of time before I went down to Florida to go to school, and so I was. I said, my dad. This is really funny. My dad, greatest guy in the world. We're in the living room. I have done nothing since I got done with high school, and I'm not really working or doing anything. And he goes, you need to go out and get a job for this time until you go. And I go, I'm looking, Dad. I'm working hard at it. He goes, no, you're not. He goes, no one's going to come to the door and offer you a goddamn job. And literally, as clockwork, there's a knock at the door. I open the door. The guy goes, would you like anyone in the household like to deliver the paper? I go, absolutely. My dad goes, who was it? I go, a guy just gave me a job. That poor guy. So I take the job. I do it. And then, of course, I'm leaving in like a month and a half, but I don't tell the guy that. So I do it, and I realize what a miserable job delivering the paper is. And then you're supposed to collect, and these people all try to avoid you. So what I used to do is throw the paper on, walk down the stairs, and then sneak back up, and then open the door to get the paper and go, I need $17 right now. They're like, what? Wait, I thought you left. And so I did it. So when I leave, my dad feels guilty. So the poor guy here, he works. He has a real job, and he delivers a paper for another month till they can find somebody else to do it.
Your dad did?
Yeah, because he goes, you can't just quit. I go, why not? Screw it. It's delivering the paper. Half the people don't even pay for it. So he did it for another month.
All those people aren't going to be able to do the crossword puzzle.
It never makes sense now, especially trying to deliver the paper and go, okay, you deliver paper, we'll pay you this amount. And when you figure out what the gas is, you're going, well, I'd need a truck to deliver all these papers. And that thing gets about 10 miles to the gallon. And by the time I had gas in, you're paying me $6.
Yeah, it's I've done so many delivery jobs. I used to deliver the Auto Trader. Remember, have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of national now, but back then, this was in the like 85, 86. I would take them to liquor stores and 7-Elevens, and I'd pull the old ones off, and I had a Datsun 510 4-door, and it was just low to the ground because it was full of all these Auto Traders. And I would drive around to all these places, pick up the old ones, give them credit for those, and then drop off the new ones. And I had to do all the money on that thing too. And it was just such a weird, all that time driving here to there, it seemed like a waste, and that was my only job, and it still seemed like a waste to me.
You think you'd upgraded your car at some point?
Ugh, jeez.
You did have the Auto Trader. Sitting there at a red light going, hey.
Not once did it strike me to look through there for a better car. I didn't even use my own product.
Yeah, that's it. And you wonder why it was so slow.
Trade this Datsun in for El Camino?
Yeah, I should have had. It was Southern California. I could have had something open and back like that. Yeah, it seems like it. Hey, I bought this in the trader. You can get one too.
Yep.
Missed opportunities.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Yes. Now it's online.
Yeah, I've never had a delivery job. I feel like I've missed out.
I had a delivery job in Hawaii, delivering. Well, I deliver anything basically. There was a 24-hour like cafe, and it was at the bottom of a hotel right down in Waikiki, and I had the graveyard shift, which was pimps, whores, and strippers. And there's so many strip clubs down in Waikiki that from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., That's all I was doing, was going to seedy apartments and dropping off like a banana split milkshake and onion rings. Or I'd go to there was a strip club called Roxa right down near the heat, just a really touristy area. So this place was always just back door, and the girl would come there with a little kimono on and get the grilled cheese and the cup of tomato soup or something. But it was
Roxa.
It was a crazy job in that I didn't realize how dangerous it probably was. It was pretty stupid, and I only did it for a couple of months, but yeah, crazy. Yeah, you didn't miss nothing, John. Don't worry about it. Don't stay up at night worrying about missing.
I sometimes I just scroll through Craigslist looking at all the minimum wage jobs. I'm like, man, I could have any one of these.
Well, you know what'd be weird, and this is the thing, because we used to do as a joke. We'd go when Doug and I, we'd be like at a fast food place. They say they're hiring, and we had nothing else to do for a day or so. We would go in and apply.
Yeah, and
we'd have this guy sitting there critiquing us, and we're like, oh, and we're just goofing, and he goes, well, I think I'll let you know. And we're like, I go, so we didn't get the job? You're a prick. I want to work.
And then you want the job you didn't want.
I want to work in a Louisville truck stop. But no. Gus here thinks I'm not qualified. I spelled my name right, Gus.
Overqualified.
Listen, Gus, show me that deep fryer. You're not going to regret it.
Yeah. Remember the old thing? We did this once, too. They had a help wanted sign in like some knick-knack shop. And it was funny because I'd seen it done before. You walk in, you tear the help wanted sign off the door.
Yeah, you take it up to them, right?
Yeah, you go, consider it filled. You're like, yeah, okay. Who are you? I'm the new guy. What do we do? What do we do here? What's our product? What are we pushing?
I've definitely, one of my favorite things to do when I was younger was to take calls from like telemarketers that are doing surveys and stuff. And then, so when I was like, 19, I had nothing to do all day, I would just talk to them for like an hour.
You'd keep them on the line.
Take their survey, do everything, and then like at the end, be like, "Oh wait, do I have to be 18 to do this?" And then they get frustrated and they're like, "Oh, call back when my dad's here." And then I'd answer the next day and we do it again.
The unbelievable thing we used to do was we used to go to the want ads, and what you do is I would give you the number, and you would call it, but I wouldn't tell you what the product was, and you had to ask questions until you could figure out what it was they were trying to sell. You're like, does it have, how many miles does it have? And they go, well, not many. I mean, it's an air conditioner. And you're like, oh, it's an air conditioner. You don't say. Winner. It was a really fun game.
So a couple miles.
Yeah.
You got it from Sears.
Yeah, it used to be tricky. And then you get a weird one because you get like a used coffin.
Yeah.
Like, I got nothing here. Was it previously owned? And they're like, what? But a lot of times they'd never tilt their hand. You're like, just tell us what it is.
That's a classic game.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Well, if you're looking for money, John, I don't know if you are, but I'm trying to segue here.
We're about to start playing darts here. Hold on. Sorry. Becker's got an electronic dartboard in the bus that's going crazy right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that meant. I thought that was a euphemism for.
Nope. His dartboard was so enthralled by our stories, it lit up.
It just lit up on its own. It was kind of creepy, dude.
So the TSA has a contest on. They're looking for suggestions on how to expedite the lines, and the winner is going to be picked with the best idea, and it's $15,000.
Oh, I got it. Separated into two lines. One for people who look like terrorists, and one line for everybody else.
Everybody else.
Perfect. Done. I'll take a check.
Yeah. Make it out to cash.
Isn't that just their job? I don't understand.
That's the same thing I was thinking. It's like, we've got people in consulting firms, we've got government agencies who've been taking care of stuff like this. These queue line experts. I mean, what about getting the people over at Disneyland over there and letting them take a look at how to speed up this line?
Get a fast pass.
Yeah.
Get a handicapped kid. If you have a handicapped kid, you cut in front of the line.
Well, they do have a fast pass. It's called pre-check. You spend $85, and you have to give fingerprints. You don't get another picture taken. You have to have a passport to do this. And for the $85 and your afternoon going down to an agency, there's only so many in the country. They'll issue you a known traveler number, and then that number is supposed to be used when you buy your ticket online. And then that somehow kicks in so that you can get into this fast pass line once you get to the airport. I did this, and I've traveled 4 times since I did it, and haven't been kicked into that line yet. I've even gone up to the line and said, "Hi, I'm Greg. You probably know me. I've got a known traveler number."
Maybe you know me by my number.
Or my fingerprints. I gave you my fingerprints. Little commitment going on here.
Nothing. None of that is connected to service at the gate. You have to input this number when you buy the ticket.
But that's when we were talking about this. I don't understand. If you're like a corporate flyer, it's not going to be in your name. It's going to be the company bought your ticket.
Yeah. No, I don't
understand. So it doesn't work for them.
There.
That's who it's geared to.
I get it. How about this? Take your pre-check fucking people and who have the known traveler number and assign that, connect that known traveler number to, I don't know, let's say social security number, passport number, your fucking name, somehow, so that when you walk up, you get some kind, even your passport has something on it that lets you go into that line.
Right.
That's the way to do that.
Well, the thing is, that's my biggest problem now is they're starting to do with the elderly. They're letting them have that same service. And they're letting them on, so they don't have to take their shoes off, and they don't have to do anything. And they let them bypass the whole security because they'll go, well, they're old, they have a hard time. It's just a lot quicker.
Every old guy wears cowboy boots.
But my question was, how old was Bin Laden when we killed him? I think he would have been able to bypass every fucking security check.
Got his dialysis machine behind him.
Sir, over here. No need to wait in that line. Yes, you and your friends. Come on.
All I have is nail clippers and this ticking time bomb. Oh, go ahead.
Let me carry your bag.
Maybe like one way to speed it up would be to make it not an entry level job, not make one of our like biggest security checkpoints like a $9 an hour job where the people working the gate don't know that DC is part of the U.S.
That might explain why they kept him out of the $15,000 lotto here.
They're not allowed to join the contest.
They go, I get $15,000. I'm quitting, dude. I'm out.
I mean, I'll tell you how you figure out what's going on. Put a fucking microphone in the break room for TSA and figure out what everyone's bitching about. Start there. They're the ones there watching the fucking inefficiencies. You don't think they're fucking pissed?
Dude, they're the front line, okay?
But there's got to be one of these like ex-military or ex-corporate guy. He's retired, but he doesn't want to stop doing something. He likes to stay active. You got to imagine there's one guy in one airport that is looking at this going like, there's so many fucking efficiencies. This could totally be, we could expedite it here. I don't think they're using those guys.
Yeah, but see, remember, if you find an inefficiency, just tell your boss, and then you'll get fired. No, you got to go. You're a troublemaker is what you are.
Yeah, no, that's the guy who will get his job.
They hired you to make sure nobody had change in their pockets, not fucking revamp the whole company.
Yeah. If you can't handle a simple task like making sure hot coffee stinks.
Yeah.
I think we're doomed. Yeah.
Hey, Becker, what was that tip you told me? You said something about bottled water through TSA.
Oh, yeah. We went through when we were in California. We bought cheese at Trader Joe's. And on the way back, Becky wanted to keep the cheese cold because that's how cheese stays fresh, apparently. And she had a cooler with 2 bottles of water in it to keep it clean, frozen bottles of water. And she opens up, and the guy goes, oh. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
So she's getting ready to toss them at that barrel right before you go on.
No. You can bring frozen water through. You're good. And she's like, I've never heard of that. And he goes, no, it's no big deal. Go ahead.
Oh, my God.
So then instead of like having to buy $9 water once you get through security, you can wait till it melts and you have icy cold water that you already paid for.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know if I'd strap it on my body, but I'd still bring it.
So I don't have to like put it in my underpants now to get through with an ice cold cylinder.
You got a bottle of water frozen. All good.
I run hot. My core temperature is usually really high. So
But yeah, I don't dare. There's so many weird rules. You know, Doug was the first one. You don't technically have to take off your shoes. They said that's not a rule. You do not.
Okay. First question. Okay, why? Then what happens?
What it is you're doing it voluntarily. You didn't know this, but you are.
Yeah.
He jammed them up, and they go, well, it's not required, but if you don't, we're going to do a full search.
That was my second question. Was when you say no, and they go, well, sir, are you being difficult? Or they start that fucking line of questioning, and you're like, no, I want to do everything, but do I have to?
Refusing to comply.
Well, yeah, you don't have to, sir, but we're asking you to. I don't want to. Well, then you're going to have to come over here for secondary inspection. Well, now you're fucking strong-arming me.
Yeah, we're going to detain you for 40 minutes. When's your flight?
Yeah. The thing is, like, I want to take a stand as a human being of self-respect. I want to take a stand, but I'm also usually running late for my flight.
Yeah, well, if you ever get a chance if you ever have to be at an airport early, I've done that where I go, no, I don't feel comfortable going through that thing. I don't know what those fucking things do. I mean, I also eat McDonald's once in a while. Okay, so I play with life on a daily basis, right? But sure. I don't know what that thing does. But if I've got time, sure, I'm gonna say, oh, yeah, let's do this way. But one thing Doug used to do was if we ever got pulled over or they got pulled aside to do the secondary inspection, Doug always wanted to try and get a boner while he was being patted down. And now, in lieu of that, because now he's got so many miles that he goes through
so few boners.
Yeah, so few boners. It's much harder.
To waste a boner on the TSA.
Now he'll come up to me as I'm being patted down because he skates through because of his diamond status. And he goes, oh, your guy's cute. And he tries to make it look like it's some big deal that like I make this happen because this is how I get my thrill at the airport. Funny for him. But.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is once you do it enough, you start, again, he should submit an idea how to go faster. Try to get uglier people in TSA.
People with bigger hands, quicker pat downs.
I think if you cover more surface area, it's not going to be as accurate.
I don't know.
I had this one.
I feel like somebody with big banana mitts. That's like 3 pats, and you're like, I didn't feel it. You're good.
It covered the entire body with 3 hands.
Use your hands and your feet.
Oh yeah.
Your foot touching you.
Just get 2. This is they're gonna have to hire somebody else, but it'd be quicker. You get 2 guys, or women, doesn't matter. And they just sandwich the person.
And hug them.
Yeah, hug them from both sides so you just feel it with your entire body. And then you're like, all right, well, 10 seconds and you're out.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, that's your idea. Here's my idea. You get one of those Chinese acrobats, and you have to sit on their feet. They lay on their back. The customer, sits on their feet, and then they spin you. You've seen them in the circus where they take the smaller kid and spin him around and around and around.
Right, yeah.
You're able to frisk them, but it happens so fast you don't see where they're hitting them. And then you're also, if anything loose is in there, it's going to fly out as well. So you don't have to remove anything from your pockets.
Like an artificial limb.
Yeah.
That might I don't know if that would speed things up, but it would give everybody else in line something to watch.
Oh, that's part of it too. You're enhancing the guest experience while they're queuing up.
Everybody's watching the 500-pound guy waiting. I got to see it. Hey, you know what? You can go in front of me. Go ahead. I got to see this.
Well, I've got one more thing about Alaska from this week.
Yeah, what else happened?
So, John, did you? Well, I'll ask you, Becker, too, because I know you've participated in running the reindeer. But I'll pose this to both of you. Did you either of you do the color run in Alaska this year?
I did not, because I had the privilege of participating in the first year they did it.
Oh, okay.
In which it was a madhouse, and they had 3 toilets, and they used all the city police. I'm not sure they donated their time like I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they actually were getting paid to stand and block off every street in the city so they could run around and have volunteers throw colored corn mash
cornstarch.
People.
Yeah,
cornstarch. But they had all volunteers. They had volunteer kids make it. They volunteered. They got volunteer scaffolding. They got the police were there. The fire department was there. Everybody was there. Everybody, half of them were getting paid. And it's a for-profit event.
I didn't do it because I realized I could jog walk 3 miles for free and not have to pay anybody. So, and I could just bring my own colored cornstarch.
Or have to take a shower afterwards.
Sure. So I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of like just paying somebody to have an uncomfortable experience. I feel.
Well, it's an amazing event because it really is. It's a for-profit, and what they do is they use like rainbow colors.
Sure.
Because it's color, right? Yeah. So you think people are... I actually talked to people the first year, and they were like, oh, it's for AIDS awareness or it's something. And then the other people were like, oh, no, it's for... to end nuclear...
Save the whales or whatever, yeah.
I thought it's anti-pornography, I thought.
But everyone had a different version of what it was, and all you had to do was go on their website, and they go, we are a for-profit event that gives, to charity, vaguely, because we're for profit. We don't have to give you anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine with them being for profit. That's cool. Like they provide like a good time for people.
But we could do it without them. Why did we need a guy to come and take $500,000? And he gave as much as $30,000 of it.
But that's like the guy who
to the Boys and Girls Club.
That's like the guy who invented Pet Rocks. It's like, I could have done that, but that nobody else here did it, and he did it.
Well, but if the guy sold Pet Rocks the second time, I think you donate your city to him.
So next year we should start a color run and just have it like the week before theirs.
Well, there's two things happening. Number one, there's already a Color Vibe, another company coming in August, so that's coming right up.
Yeah.
This year, and the article in the ADN yesterday, the Alaska Dispatch News, by the way, was basically talking to this one guy who had Carhartts on and mud on his face, and I guess he was down at Bird Creek fishing or something, because he was telling the story, and they're setting this up. He's throwing fish on the bank while he's talking to this reporter, and his whole stance is mud and blood are good. Alaskans are about mud and blood, and this was his whole. He was dip netting is what he was doing, and that was it was a very colorful article on like, what the fuck are we paying these people to come in and throw colored cornstarch? Alaskans are about mud and blood.
No, and that's it was kind of true. And I had one girl that she was like, oh, no, I don't care, because I made a comment about it. She goes, I don't care. I had fun. It was something to do with my kid.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why do we need them to do this? The city of Anchorage might have the ability to do this, being it's all the city employees that are getting paid to do this. I want to know exactly how much the police and fire department made on that day.
Well,
by blocking every street, and the city workers that put the cones down, and the lack of restrooms they had available. I actually had to, for first year, had to pee past a cop behind a bush. He goes, go ahead. So I'm peeing in somebody's backyard, but I had to pee. There were no bathrooms anywhere.
Just like in camping or in your cabin.
I think, if we try to do our own color run, we're not creative enough in this town to like think of something else to call it. So we would just call it the Anchorage Color Run. We probably like have some sort of weird legal thing.
No,
so we should make it a mud and blood run.
Yeah,
where people run through and we throw mud and blood at them.
Well, you got homeless people on every corner. You think they won't throw stuff at you? We already got people in place for this.
And not to mention, if someone, let's hope that maybe someone over at the Boys and Girls Clubs, that they maybe put a little committee together and actually put this together by themselves, and get a dirt looking colored cornstarch and a red colored cornstarch. That would be hilarious.
No, that's great. A super soaker with fake blood and mud. And just some mud. And
I doubt that's going to happen though.
Why? Too much work?
Yeah. We're just going to keep letting them come in and take all our money.
We have this other guy who's going to... It reminds me exactly of that like Dr. Seuss thing where he comes in and he's putting stars on some bellies and he's taking them off other people's bellies, and finally he just drives off in a big RV full of money. And you're like, what happened? And I go, well, the first year I got it, I went, wow, we should be pissed. That was bullshit. Because they said, we'll give it undisclosed. They were going to give the money anonymously. They said, oh, no, we're going to do it anonymously. They go, I don't think you can come here and do all this and then anonymously give the money to the Boys Girls Club. So they did it publicly. They gave him $30,000 out of what they figured. I think it was around $650,000 they made.
It was up there, yeah.
Yeah, and his total costs were, I think, around $20,000.
Yeah.
So, but everyone got
if you get a couple of people working the phones, and I mean, I'm speaking from experience because I actually would try to get a lot of the stuff we do for the Chilkoot shows out in the parking lot. I would try and get those things donated, knowing that I have something to offer, and that is free tickets to the events. And a lot of people would do that to donate, and it's a community thing, right? But this is an outside company coming in for profit, taking money
and they're
away.
getting all the permits and everything. I mean, they're letting them just go, oh, sure, we'll shut half the city down for this.
Well, I mean, they do have to pay for that. They do have to pay for that. But,
how much did they pay?
Well, I mean, the permits, it doesn't matter whether you're a resident. I don't know what they cost. I mean, we paid to shut down the 25th Avenue for the Chilkoot Charlie's Outdoor Shows.
I understand.
And it's not
what
that
I'm
much.
Saying is release the numbers of what they paid to shut half the city down for that day and have police on every corner.
Yeah.
Tell me what that cost us, because no one will give you that number. And I go, just give me the fucking number.
I bet you it's probably the lion's share of that $20,000.
Yeah.
And if they've got some people, and they probably do, because it's lower 48, they're coming up here and they really know what they're doing. They get in there, they could easily get all that stuff for free. And like you said, everyone thought it was for some other charity.
Yeah,
so
no,
who knows what they're telling them on the phone? You know, like, thank you so much, AAA Fence, for donating the fence. You know, the kids at Boys and Girl Club. You know, I can't say how much they appreciate you doing, but they don't know.
I can't put a monetary amount on how much they
appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, the kids are they're all smiles. I mean, little colored smiles, but still.
It is. I don't know what's going to happen next year. Maybe no one will show up to the Color Vibe in August.
Maybe now people will show up. People are dumb.
I don't have a problem. I just think it's one of those things where you should have to go through the city with all the purchase of it, and we know exactly how many dollars you collected, and we give you the money at the end when you leave.
Yeah.
We go, here you go, here's your check.
Oh man,
thanks for doing it.
That's the last thing you want the government to do, is hold some money to give back to you later.
Oh no, it's in the mail. You go home, you go back to California, we'll send it.
I'm going fishing on Saturday. I think I'm definitely going fishing on Saturday for the first time in like 10 years.
What are you going fishing for?
Salmon, I believe. We're going out on, my girlfriend's dad has a boat.
Oh, so nice.
We're going to go out and, I guess catch some fish. And, so I'm excited to, not look like a capable human being fishing on a boat because I haven't done it in so long.
That is tricky. You have to look like you know what you're doing, and then you do some huge faux pas.
Yep.
Like you hook him.
Never eat bananas on a boat, guys. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an old wives' tale out on the ocean.
Yep.
I know. I tried to come up with the reasoning behind it, but it's very odd. The whole thing it just turns on you in a second if you start asking too many questions.
Don't ask questions. Just
there's probably some kind of history to that.
Yeah, there is.
Like pirates had pierced ears, and then they felt that
I think it really
was based on the fact that that's a pressure point in the ear, not to get seasick, and they would pierce their ears for that reason. So there might be some basis behind not.
There was a fisherman who would fuck all of the fish, and all the fish knew about him. So whenever they saw anything phallic shaped, they were like, "Well, stay away from that guy." So now you don't bring bananas on a boat. That's all I can guess.
I think it goes back to old slave ships, and I don't like it, and I don't agree with it. And I bring bananas on every time I go. I bring bananas so you can make smoothies.
Yeah,
because no one's catching fish.
I'm making banana Fosters on a boat.
I was on a halibut charter here one time, and it was the funniest thing. The guy running the charter, we were having a pretty slow day. He whips out a little grill, and he goes, "Hey, guys, hungry?" And you're going, we're on a boat with him. He made us burgers, and I went, this is probably not the best charter.
This guy's prepared.
He's like, we ain't catching nothing. Let's just have burgers.
Shit, I didn't even bring bait. Well, good luck, John.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yep. And I'll be going to Salmon Stock.
Oh, that's right. That's this weekend.
It is. Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful blowout. We've already purchased fireworks, and we're ready to go.
I'm going to try to make it on Sunday.
Sunday? Okay. You stay in touch, and then we'll track you down. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's the last year. Like I said, I think it's going to be a great turnout. They have an amazing lineup, and it looks like the weather's going to be good.
Well, who knows? It doesn't matter. It's all just bring a trash bag just in case.
I mean, sometimes, with all the, because it attracts a lot of weed smokers. So a little rain wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt.
Hey, remember last year when they had the guy, he had one of those, I don't know if it's an ultralight. It's got a parachute sail.
Yeah.
And then he's got a 3-wheeled cart with a big, huge propeller on the back of it.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, and he was buzzing the crowd. I mean, he was hitting the
trees.
Yeah, he was hitting the tops of the trees above us.
Yeah, that was kind of amazing by any safety standard I've ever seen. Because if he crashed, that propeller was going right into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It's so funny.
Did he drive it there, or did he fly down?
He flew down, and then he would kick on the rotor, and then he'd get a little more air, a little bit more lift, and then he just kept circling around and around. And it was pretty amazing. But then when you thought, I was like, wow, man, I don't think it's certainly not a good idea. But I don't know if it's illegal for him to be buzzing the crowd like that over and over.
I don't know. I did a video about a guy who was him and his friends, they go out and they do that, but they don't have a cart they sit in.
Yeah.
They just strap the propeller to their back.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like a backpack.
Yeah.
And a propeller, and then the parachute, and they cruise around like that.
It looks like one of those leaf blower backpacks.
Yeah.
But then it's got a propeller on it too. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
They start on the ground, or they jump off something?
Either way. Either way. I
Yikes.
think it seems not safe. That just feels like broken legs. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, at the least.
It's just one of those things. You look like I've done it successfully 10 times. I go, how about 11?
So if you can, take the recorder out and do a little recording out there.
Yeah.
As long as it's not raining. If you hook up with John.
Yep. No, we will. We'll do live from Salmon Stock.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
and we'll interview the artist.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll go right on stage. We'll go, excuse me.
We're gonna do a live podcast. They don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's a place where you could probably just talk your way in to be backstage, I mean, just take a look at what the artwork is online and make up your own press passes.
Oh yeah.
Not bad.
Come on.
Good idea.
Yeah.
He's good at this.
Be a good story. Be a good story.
I remember at the when we had our fake passes for the adult video conference.
The AVNs in Vegas.
Yeah, we were going through. They just gave us fake passes to get in.
No, they gave us someone else's passes, and what happened was the security had been alerted that people were dropping off passes for other people, so people were getting in. So then they had guys, shifty-eyed guys at the front, scanning the crowd for anyone kind of a little leery, profiling. And there were 4 of us: Duran, Becker, my brother Michael, and myself, and the 4 of us went through this line kind of abreast. So we're next to each other rather than in a line. And as soon as it looked like they keyed in on my brother, and then the 3 of us just swarmed. We just left, and
we had to
got kicked out.
It was like one of those Vietnam movies. They go, "Oh no, they got him."
But we were able to live because he sacrificed his pass.
Yeah, and they took it from him. We watched him as they hauled him out.
Man,
he got fucked at the porn awards.
The funniest thing I remember from that was Becker, Duran, and myself were walking up, and we'd find some starlet, some porn starlet, and we'd say, "Can we get a picture?" And she'd say, "Sure." And then I would hand her my camera, and the 3 of us would stand there, and she'd take a picture of the 3 of us standing in her booth.
And half of them thought it was really funny, and the other half were so unamused that it was amazing.
They were trying to do the upsell.
Oh, I didn't recognize you from the front.
All right, well, we got a big weekend. I'll be up in Seattle after this, so next time I talk to you, I'll be up in sunny Washington.
Hey, when is Bumper Shoot?
I don't know. I'll look it up. We'll talk about it next podcast.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm on the bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm on the bus now, too. We switched. I drove over. You guys missed it. We edited it out, maybe. Or we left it on. I don't know what's going on.
And for Mat Becker and John Norris, this is Greg Chaille signing off from Bisbee, Arizona. You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Mat Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.
Jeff Tate, if you're listening, let me on your podcast.